to talk to you about something slightly surprising. It's about fashion's artistic obsession. It's something that I've come up against in my many years, nearly 50, of writing about fashion. And really, it's something that I think about a lot because of the way things have moved during that period. And the big question that I bring is this: is fashion fashion if you cannot actually wear what is defined as clothing? Over the years, I've been presented with so-called fashion shows when the garments are deliberately unwearable. That might have meant beautiful but incomprehensible creations offered by Ray Kawakubo for Comme des Garçons, or it could be something funnier, like the late Vivienne Westwood building her fame by putting young model Naomi Campbell in sky-high platform shoes that definitely weren't made for walking. She fell down immediately. Among so many others, from student inventions of plastic dresses circling the human form to applied art presented in a museum, comes this question, and I think about it often. Is it fashion if you cannot carry out normal life wearing it? Let's put it in another way. Is fashion's artistic obsession anything but smoke and mirrors in fabulous, fashionable colors? Of course. The answer may seem easy, obvious even. Yet the very same people who admire and wear complex clothes often have a similar attitude to art as they do to unwearable clothing. I mean by that you don't have to be really able to hang a painting formally on the wall. You might think of art as something defined by statues and sculpture, by buildings, and what might be just broken shards, but they're still called art. But when the subject of art, and that includes wearing a jacket with 3 sleeves, how can you accept it? There are unwearable trousers, perhaps, stitched together, but anything that you can't actually and properly wear and use your body inside it, is it fashion? Is it art? What is it? After so many years in the fashion trenches, I still feel a slight discomfort when viewing clothes that are arty awkward, and some of them unbearable. And now men are following this, sometimes even leading it, the weirdly unwearable. The art world arena today can be seen as an area without boundaries. It can be seen as a home for the trans and non-binary creative communities. I'm thinking of Fantastic Twirls and Jenkin Van Zyl, who are exploring the potential of a fashion voice. It is also a non-judgmental mode of expression. I look in museums at garments worn in the distant past, those ridiculously elongated men's breeches or women's dresses so wide that she needed to turn sideways to get through the palace door. Is that fashion? I'm not sure. Coming up in the merry month of May, Prince Charles of the not-so-United Kingdom will don clothes that, like the event itself, will be ripe with history. These outfits and the grand carriages that will house the wearers cannot be considered harbingers of the future, obviously. But by contrast, are any of the people eager to take part likely to wear anything except exceptional or ordinary clothes? They won't be extraordinary, that's for sure. And that applies to so many of today's choices around the world. Then I think of those very few who are prepared to do something brave with what they wear. I think about Pharrell Williams' wife Helen at the New York Met Gala, not this one, which hasn't happened yet, but in 2017. The theme that year was, wait for it, Comme des Garçons. So Helen wore to the dinner a red avant-garde com outfit with no outlet for her arms or hands, nothing, all for the sake of art. She couldn't have had a thing to eat. We are unlikely to find weird clothes at next week's Met Ball, the Dress to Look Famous event, this time dedicated to the late Karl Lagerfeld. He, incidentally, was famous for producing formality in his designs for Chanel and for Fendi. I can never actually remember Carl making clothes that were what we define still as unwearable. Nor will I think there be weird garments at the French film celebrations in Cannes. But I was thinking about it, and I do know where to find utterly original things. There was another British offer with creatives at the famous fashion schools offering extraordinary colours and shapes and fabrics. And there's the artist, Grayson Perry. I do admire him so much, not just for his work, but for his fine example of wearing the creations of St. Martin's students as a means of self-expression. So good to see somebody who has succeeded trying to help those who are young and hoping for the best. Is there anything new? Everything. Anything wearable for a simple life. For the normies out there, that's more difficult. So how to cope with fashion as invention? By far the most intriguing offers are nothing that you would hang in the cupboard or lay on the bed. When I look around in front of me, I see nothing but people who are dressed in what we would all think of as normal clothes. Nobody has come here, as far as I can see, without being able to put their arms through the jacket. We're talking about choosing a digital image to merge with oneself, a new dress through AI, and it could be presented at the metaverse as an enthusiastic new look. But with no use of fabrics, no stitching, no dyeing, and absolutely no waste. Is that the metaverse, the future about the way we are going to cover ourselves and wear clothes? Could it really, really happen? Well, it is happening in the digital world, right here, right now. How much more will things change in my lifetime? That's a question I ask myself. A dramatic alteration has already begun. I'm trying to envisage a world without clothes as we know them, with enormously extraordinary things that could not ever really be worn, or just something that isn't really clothes at all, but is cast with a color, the body is cast with a color or a shape. Is it possible? It's certainly possible, even if it doesn't see my lifetime. But I must admit, and I don't know how many of you feel the same, I'm not quite ready yet. Perhaps you are. Thank you.